Welcome to the shop, everyone. Today we're back working on the 454. And so today I want to go through and look at the headers and where they're going to be, need to be clearanced some as far as so it won't burn the spark plug wire. So we can see there, it looks like number 1. I'll go ahead and put an X there. Gonna need to clearance that a little bit. Alright, then when we look at number 3, looks like we need to clearance that one a little bit. See, that one looks nice. That one looks good. Plenty of room there. Alright, the other side of the engine, plenty of room, plenty of room. Now that one there, I'm going to go ahead and clearance that a little bit. Alright, so we got the ones marked that we need to put a good ding in. And so I'm going to remove them from the engine itself and get it up there on my welding table and see if I can't figure out a good way to clearance those so where they won't burn the spark plug wires. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to draw with this old chalk marker for welding on the header itself and try to make a good, accurate circle of where I need to put the indentation. Alright, so I feel like I got a good mark on the placement where I need to put a nice little ding or an indentation in there so it won't burn spark plug wires. So next thing I'm going to do is pull the headers off and put them over there on the welding table. Alright, now I'm going to see if there's a good way I can mount these headers on my welding table to where it'll hold it in place well for me so when I go to banging on it, it doesn't move it around much. Alright, so my plan is to take my torch, warm up that area there where it's good and red and hot. Then I'm going to take this pipe and this hammer, and I'm going to lay it in there. And the plan is, while it's red hot, I'm going to try to dent that in. Same with that one later. So let's see how it works out. Alright, looks like we got one more to go. So we'll fire up the old torch and take care of that one. Alright, so I got the primary tubes, what would you say, clearance for the spark plug wires. Let's take a look at it. So I guess the next thing to do now is put it on the engine and see if I clearanced it enough. Alright, got the headers on there. Oh yeah, that's nice. Looks good. Over here to the side. Alright. So anyways, that ought to help us out with not burning spark plug wires all the time. Alright, let's get on to the next stuff. Okay, so a couple little more odds and ends we need to do is I need to put the thermostat in there and thermostat housing, tighten that down. And also, whenever I do put this in a car, I'm gonna be running a mechanical pump here, but on this, we're gonna be building engine running stand off of this engine stand here. And it has a electric fuel pump, so I need to plate that off. So I've got over here thermostat housing and a block off plate, thermostat right here. Get that out. And there's a little modification I do to these things to help bleed the air out, because anyways, when you're filling your engine up with water, you know, water's actually coming in here, is raising up. Air has to escape. So either you have to have one of these plugs out to let the air out, to bleed the block, they say. But what I like to do is I like to drill like maybe a small hole there, maybe, I don't know, bigger than a 16th, about a 16th of an inch or bigger. And that way the air is allowed to escape through without having to have any kind of plugs undone when you're filling the block for the first time anyways. All right. Okay, let's get the thermostat housing out. Now this is a Speed by Spectra. It says the 400 mile per hour company. Wow, so that's pretty nice. So anyways, it comes with some nice looking bolts to bolt it on. Got the O-ring around the bottom of it. Those are the bolts that come with it to hold it down. Pretty nice looking, chrome, everything like that. Alright, so let's get it on there. Okay, let's get this Mr. Gasket fuel block-off plate installed. It's Mr. Gasket. Let's see, I think it's got a gasket that comes with it. All right. Also got a couple nuts down at the hardware store to install it. So let's get it on there. Okay, so we got the fuel pump block off plate all installed. Looks pretty good. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make some 18-inch long what's it, collector extensions, I guess they call it. Then also put a, I don't have the right name, like a vacuum system on the block. It's supposed to pull a vacuum on the engine when it runs. So over here on the table, I got a 3-inch stainless steel pipe, which I'm gonna cut probably 18 inches on each side, make some collectors, weld them on the collectors there. And then this Mr. Gasket crankshaft ventilation system, supposed to draw a vacuum on it. You know, of course, I'm gonna probably cut a hole and weld those in. And these are the parts that actually goes on the valve cover itself. This one here came with no hole whatsoever, so we'll have to drill a hole to get that in there. All right, so let's get all that started. Okay, so we got the collector extensions welded together. The next thing we need to do is drill a hole for that crankcase vacuum system we're going to put on it. Got a line scribed around there where how deep I want it to go, and we're doing it about 3 inches back from this place. All right. Well, sometimes you just gotta claim stuff. When you do a good job like this, there ain't nothing you can do but claim it. That's right. I welded that on without putting that on first. Not only once, but twice. At this point, there's only one thing I probably should do, is do one of this old Tony tricks. Huh, that wasn't that hard. All right, well, let's get those one-way valves installed on there. The instructions say to use Teflon tape. Got our Teflon tape put on there. So let's go ahead and tighten that thing down and get those installed. All right, well, let's get that collector extension installed and see how it looks. Alright, so we have that collector extension on there. Now this one here, the header, if you can see it, it turns this way a good bit. So I'm really gonna have to angle that thing out to try to make it straight as I can. Maybe I won't be able to make it perfect, but that's what I'm gonna try to do, is try to get it angled straight where it'll look parallel with that one. Alright, let's get it on there. Alright, so the next thing would be to push these oil separators into the valve cover. Okay, bought some 5/8 heater hose. That's supposed to connect the collector part to the oil separator part. So I'll get these all cut out and installed and show you when I'm done. Alright, so we got our Mr. Gasket crankcase evacuation system installed. I'll give you guys a look at that. Goes in the valve cover there. There's the pipe. Goes down to that one-way valve, and then as exhaust pulses go across that angle, it creates a vacuum inside the crankcase. Also have our 18-inch collector extensions. Try to make them straight as I could. Now the headers themselves, the way they came down, don't come straight back. So I had to kind of angle them a little bit to make them look somewhat equal to each other. Alright, so got the headers clearance for the spark plug wires. Got all accessories on there. Alright, so that's the end of this video. Sure hope you guys all liked it. If you guys did, please give me that like, subscribe if you'd like to. And as always, we hope to see you all on the next video. Thanks so much.